Not so attractive guys. What did you do to get the girl? I'm 6 feet 4. She's 5 feet 1. I think honestly she just can't see me very well from down there. She asked me out. I have no freaking idea. She did say she liked how I marched to the beat of my own drum. So I should get myself a drum and march around town beating it? Got it. To be clear, it's the drum you beat. Oh. Well, this is awkward. Zips. British accent in Sweden. Australian accent in the USA. Oh, I aren't. Want a root? Bit of a funny story. My brother did a semester in Sydney years ago. Being a good Canadian, he brought some gifts for a family friend he visited, as well as their kids. This was back during a period when a Canadian clothing company had become quite successful internationally. In fact, they had even designed the Olympic uniforms of several non-Canadian countries. So my brother didn't understand why his hosts burst out laughing when he gave them all sweatshirts emblazoned with the company name. Roots. American here, I don't get it. Rooting equals fricking in Australian. She fell off the stage while dancing at a nightclub and I caught her. She was a solid 8.5 and I'm a 6. No way I would have spent the night with her if I didn't save her from breaking her neck up. So banana peels worked, I see. Blue shells so he wouldn't miss. Ugh, let's try something else. Now listen closely. Here's a little lesson in trickery. You know the hand trick where it appears that you are taking your fingers off? Yeah, that. Theatricality and deception are powerful agents to the uninitiated. But we are initiated, aren't we, Bruce? Members of the League of Shadows. And you betrayed us. You were excommunicated by a gang of psychopaths. I just flaunt my money. In hourly increments of £90. Solid tactic. Works circa 70% of the times. Huge cock. I'm a huge cock and my wife finds arrogance very attractive. Huge cock. I'm a huge cock and my wife finds large roosters very attractive. You wear a disguise to look like human guys, but you're not a man. You're chicken boo. I made jokes about having a small peanuts. She liked my sense of humor. Jokes on her though. This comment makes me want to share one of my favorite relationship stories. A friend of a friend was having a tough go of things relationship wise. She had no problems getting a date or finding men that she was genuinely interested in. The problem was that she had a narrow PP, the result of which meant sex was painful for her. As one would expect, this was a stress on every relationship she was in. Until she met a charming man that also was having intimacy issues in every relationship he ever had. They dated for a short period and one night things were progressing quickly and she stopped him and said, "Before things go any further I need you to know that I have a narrow PP." He replied, "That's not a problem. I have a small peanuts." It was the first time either of them truly enjoyed a sexual encounter. I can't remember if they are married or not, but as of a month or two ago they have been together for years. There should be a dating website for men with small penises and women with narrow PPS. tinypegnarrowhole.com. Do I look like I know what a tiny peg is? Having confidence helps a lot. Just remember the following. Confidence isn't saying I know she will like me. Confidence is saying I'll be fine whether she likes me or not. Some dude on Reddit. As a bigger dude, I grew a beard that suited my face, dressed in clothing that fits, big compliments me, smell nice and learned that girls want to talk not just be heard. You said bigger dude with a beard. I'm already panting. That's cool. I like artistic girls smiley face. Panting. Yeah, like with brushes and a canvas. Is wet. I have a beautiful girl who loves me unconditionally and we cuddle all of the time. The trick is to go on lots of walks with them. Also adopting from the shelter, because those are the ones that need it the most. This hurt extra bad after just getting out of a 3-year relationship and her keeping the dog. Killed her old boyfriend in one-on-one combat. At that point she knew I was the one. Until a new challenger arrives and defeats you. Your time is limited. Enjoy it while you can. I have a split tongue and spread a rumor in high school that I'm willing to chow down for hours. That's how I landed my wife. 9 years in December. I hope you were high school age when you spread that rumor. I knew a guy in high school that basically just made sure he would lick the box for each girl he dated. Slowly the word got out and he was climbing the ladder. I think girls find it low risk high reward during a time when they are very curious and very horny. Lick the box. Which box are we talking here, the fart box or the honey box? By being myself and no more than slightly going above and beyond. And always remember, shoot for the stars. Not all of them can get out of the way fast enough. You'd be surprised by what you can get by not psyching yourself out cause you think she might not like you. I had a high school friend that would ask out any good looking girl. He asked out more girls in school than any of our friends combined. He had 0 girlfriends. He always had dates to every dance, but never a date. He kept it up and married a great gal. Pretty much the first girl to say yes. He is a successful dude and they have an awesome marriage. Lots of girls wish they hadn't turned him down. The all autism approach to dating. Jokes aside, that it works though. My friend in college was just fearless about asking girls out and did pretty well for himself. Was definitely punching above his weight in that regard. Seriously, the guy I know who had that approach wasn't handsome. He was actually pretty goofy looking, but he had a good sense of humor and was a semi-good artist. So he asked out tons of girls out of his league and had a lot of parties to show off his nice place. Canvases. He's always had pretty girlfriends and besides being a bit of a jerk, manages to be a good guy to them. Can get out of the way fast enough. Do you just load them up in your trunk after that? I offer 10 goat for hand of daughter of village blacksmith. He say I add 2 chicken and he is agree. That is how I get girl. That's a really bad deal for just her hand. You got scammed, man. I dunno, it comes in handy. We were co-workers. We used to talk a lot and clicked when it came to sense of humor and goofing around. To quickly became good friends and then started dating. I was giving her genuine affection without an ulterior motive. Her family constantly put her down and was two-faced when it came to being nice. I was the counter to that. I was the escape. I finished my degree and moved with her 4 hours away. It was close enough to visit if we wanted, but too far for her family to drop by unannounced. We finally had a calm life away from the stress and strife that her family caused. Then after she had her calm life, she no longer needed her escape and couldn't ignore the fact that she never actually wanted me as a person. She only wanted what I represented, what I no longer needed to provide. So, she started cheating on me with someone who she was actually attracted to behind my back and his wife's back. 7 years gone. My love life has been downhill since then. Something sorta similar thing happened here. I convinced her that her mum was cancerous and that she should reconnect with her dad. I told her that she needs to forgive people and at least talk with her father. Her problem was that her mother had complete control over her life and basically brainwashed her to believe whatever she said. I helped break the spell. Reconnected her with her dad. We moved 12 hours away from our hometown, which was close to her father. 8 months later I was asked to leave. When I asked why, she told me she couldn't see herself marrying and having children with a white man and that she was falling in love with me and was having thoughts of marriage with me. That it was wrong to mix race and culture. Which is funny, because when we met she basically said the opposite. I went to her father, who I had pretty good rapport with, and, yup, you guessed it. He told me to my face that white men should never be serious with a black woman, because blah blah blah. So that's the story about how I metaphorically shot myself in the foot. I can tell you one thing, you didn't shoot yourself in the foot, you protected yourself from future it happening to you. If she was brainwashed by her mum and then by her dad, it was for the better that you got out now, before it got too serious. Make her laugh. Worst advice ever. I started tickling a girl at work and ended up getting fired and charged. She did laugh though. Try telling a joke and avoid putting your hands on her. Instructions unclear. Put peanuts on her. Put peanuts on her. Wasn't that the goal from the beginning? I am not a guy, but one of my friends, who just happens to have one of the happiest seeming relationships I know, has been with a guy that can be described as aesthetically challenged for 2 years now. He also never went to university, which is rare since all my girlfriends have boyfriends who are currently in uni, have already graduated, and she used to say to me that it was a deal breaker for her. Everyone knew he was crazy about her, but she wasn't interested at all. We know him through some mutual friends, and 2 years ago we were on a party where my friends was very upset since she was having some problems. She got very drunk and ended up crying on his shoulder. Things led to another and she ended up spending the night at his place. The next morning she sends a message how he made her breakfast and that she will marry this guy. Let's just say he made a huge impression on her. Don't you mean he made a huge impression in her? Gotta say, the whole emotional bad place plus the guy turns out to be a good lay scenario landed me in love with an ugly guy. This is a more reliable combo than that whole be confident thing. LOL. Wait for my crush to be emotionally vulnerable then stick it in. Got it. Wish me luck. Have you got the good lay part covered? Lower your standards. You'll be soaked. How low we talking? Mariana Trench low. The lower you go, the more vague you get. I lowered mine to fleshlight and I am now drowning in trim. Single it is.